The foundation of fingerpicking is based on using specific fingers on your strumming hand to play specific strings. Your thumb will be used to play strings 6, 5, and 4 with a downward stroke or push, like this. Down, down, down. Push, push, push. 6, 5, 4. Pretty straightforward. That's the easy part. The bottom 3 strings are a little different and more complicated. We're going to use our first, second, and third fingers, or index, middle, and ring finger, to play strings 3, 2, and 1. But instead of resting them on top of the strings like we do with our thumb, we're actually going to come from underneath, from below, and pull up to play each note. Right? So your index would be below string 3. Let me see if I can get really close in here at an angle so you can see what's happening. You see this finger here? It's not on top of the string. It's coming below. Right? So that's my index on string 3. And then my middle finger is below string 2, not on top, but below. And then my ring finger is below string 1, not on top, below, and I'm pulling up, right? So if I'm doing that for the bottom 3 strings. Maybe you can see it here at that angle. Pull, pull, pull. Up, up, up. 3, 2, 1. See if I can see that here. Up, oops. Up, up, up. That's the style. That's finger style. And that's how you play those first 3 strings with your index, middle, and ring fingers. Okay, we're zoomed back out now. Hopefully you were able to see that up close on how to actually have your fingers resting on the strings, right? So your thumb's going to rest on the 6th, and then your index, middle, and ring will be on strings below strings 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's practice this piece of tablature where we're just playing the open strings, so we only need to focus on our picking hand. Alright, we're just going to go down. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumb pushing down, 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 and then fingers, index, middle, ring, pulling up, 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 push, 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 pull, 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 push, 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 pull, pull, pull. Okay? So you want to get comfortable with that first. Practice playing. Right? Once you're comfortable with that, then we're going to try to do this. Where we go down the strings and then come back up. Right? Starting position. Thumb on the 6th string. You can go slowly. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So keep practicing that, because it trains your fingers to get a sense of where the individual strings are by touch. Eventually, you won't even need to look at them. You'll be able to just feel it. Right? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the exercise you want to keep practicing over and over. This is the principal idea of finger picking and your basic starting position and playing technique. Let me just do that one more time where maybe you can see that a little more closely. Down, 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 and I'm extending my fingers here just so you can see, but yours will be more curved like this in this position, but just so you can see it, I'm trying to bring it into different angle. You can see this finger is below the string, right, like I showed you earlier. So I'm pulling, 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 pulling. Okay? Alright. So you can practice that pattern repetitively with open strings at first, and then eventually you can try it using some chord shapes. So let's use a chord like E or G, because those have all 6 strings involved. So you just do the same thing. Right? Here's an E chord. Right? Or if it's a chord like D, D as in dog, where you're just playing the first 4 strings, you would just start with your thumb on the 4th string instead. Right? And we know from our guitar chord library there is a variation of D where we can include the 5th string, string 5, if we want to add some additional bass, and you would just start with your thumb on that string instead. Right? So basically, finger picking style just replaces the idea of doing this. Instead of just using our thumb only, we're using our thumb and our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, or index, middle, and ring fingers. Right? Now, as you progress, you'll inevitably come across varying situations where the strings are played in a different sequence, or even with different fingers sometimes. But which fingers you use to play which string using what I just showed you is a good foundational beginning point, with your thumb being responsible for strings 6, 5, 4, and the index, middle, and ring playing strings 3, 2, and 1. That's where you want to practice. If you're an absolute beginner, new to finger picking, that's what you want to be doing, this exercise. Just my suggestion anyway. Alright? Now, once you've mastered that, we can take a look at this additional technique, which involves playing the strings simultaneously instead of note by note. So, from the same starting position, I'm going to do this. Now, it sounds terrible because I'm just playing the strings open. I'm not using a chord to demonstrate. I'm just snapping my thumb to my index finger. Right? I'm just using open strings just so you can focus on this hand. Don't worry about up here right now. You just want to focus in on the action with your finger picking hand. Right? So what I'm doing, I'm snapping my thumb toward my index finger like this. Kind of like I'm clamping my hands. Let me see. Like that. So the thumb is coming down and hitting strings 6, 5, and 4, and these 3 fingers are pulling up simultaneously strings 3, 2, 1. So it's like this. Snap. Right? So now let's try using a chord with all 6 strings in it like we did earlier. So we'll stick with G, right? And you can do it like this. Yeah? This is just a finger picking alternative to playing a chord instead of doing this. Instead of stroking it, strumming it, whatever you want to call it, we're finger picking the chord. Playing all 6 strings simultaneously. Same thing like we did before. If you're using a D chord where it's just the first 4 strings, same thing, just start from the 4th string with your thumb. You're playing all 4 simultaneously, just snapping your fingers together like that, right? Okay, so now why or how is this technique useful? Well, we can combine it with what we learned in the first part of the video to play something like this. that's the style that I played my Turn Your Lights Down Low Bob Marley cover. You can check it out in this linked video here. And obviously there are multiple techniques and skills involved there. But the point I want to emphasize is that a lot of the fingerstyle variations that you'll see in multiple songs, like how I was playing it in my cover variation, and then even in playing styles, they are based on the same principle, finger positioning and techniques that we just went over. The magic is right here. Learn this. Understand that your thumb is going to be responsible for strings 6, 5, 4, and your first, second, and third finger, or your index, middle, and ring finger, will be responsible for playing strings 3, 2, and 1 in that, with that pull up technique, right? And then you have the simultaneous, I don't know what word you want to use, squeeze? Yeah, I guess. Let's say squeeze then, yeah. Bam! Right? So practice those and you'll be ready for all kinds of variations of finger picking. If you're feeling the vibes, jam me, like and subscribe, leave a comment and ring the bell for the most vibes. You're moving forward ever, backward never. Blessings and respect. I'll see you in the next video. Big up to the man called Mr. Kyle from the Turn Your Lights Down Low Bob Marley video, requesting a little info about the finger picking business. See you squeeze there? Watch it. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Plenty squeezing, you understand? Watch it, just squeeze it. Then you're just picking any random notes. Right? I'm picking the notes in a random order. I'm still using that same fingering for the strings. Right? As a beginner, just stick with one basic pattern. The one I showed you here. Just to get the feel. To get the vibes. No, but seriously, more the actual feel. The literal, physical touch of the strings. Then, once you have that, you will be able to switch up the sequence of the finger picking pattern, right? But get the basic feel for it first. Literally. I mean that in a literal sense this time, right? Not feel as vibes, like literally the physical feel for the positioning. That'll help you out big time. Alright? Blessings and respect. See you in the next video.